Right. Hey, can you hear me? I can see you, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yes, I can
Oh,
hear you.
yeah,
Whoop,
listen.
whoop, whoop. Yes, eventually I can hear you. Right, fantastic. Fantastic. This is what's been happening on people's Instagram recently, people. This is the it used to happen to us without the picture going. It used to be the sound would always go if someone left the live. But now it's taking sound and visual. So this is a crazy thing now. We don't know what's going on. But then, but now we've got the lovely, the king himself, Raggo Zulu Rebel, back here for part two. What's part two of what, Claude? Okay, was you taking a drink at that time? Oh, okay. All right. So, Raggo Zulu Rebel, how are you today?
Cold, you know. You see, I didn't put my turban on today. I'm just wrapped up.
You wrapped up. It's
Got a hoodie
winter.
on. Yeah.
It's
Got long
winter.
johns,
It's winter.
thermal socks. I'm prepared.
People are dressing like they've never dressed before because now we're getting the real cold weather in. And look at the summer we had, right? That was a distant memory.
Do you know what it is? It's we all forgot that we lived in England due to all this global warming. Because when I was a picnic, this is how England used to stay.
Yeah.
From like September the 15th to like March the 29th. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No, you're right.
mm-hmm.
You're right.
Oh, big up my daughter.
Right.
She's just joined. Shiloh Draws. Big up my daughter.
Hi, Shiloh Draws. Thank you for joining your dad. Oh.
I behave myself then, you know?
Yes, you behave yourself anyway. You're a decent man. People may say otherwise, but you're a decent man.
I'll try.
As far as we know, as far as we know. But yeah, so we're happy that you came back again today. People were still talking about your Ready Steady Idol. They've been saying things about people have been saying it was good. Yeah. You got to do another one. Maybe you need to do a lunch or dinner at another time. A lunch or dinner.
We'll do lunch and then we'll do dinner. You know.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And a dessert.
Oh.
Yeah. But today, we've got you here because we want to find out about you, because we found out about your plant-based journey. But now we want to find out the many bows, the many strings to Raggo Zulu Rebel. So what was your first venture? Let us know about what you've done first, what you started doing first. You do a lot. And I don't want to tell people because I do remember, unlike Claude, but but before you do, just have a thought on that. There's some comments, and let Claude shout out, our royal correspondent shout out, who's in there talking, speaking.
Hey, Claude.
Just say hello, Claude.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, good.
Hi, okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, excellent. Okay, so before Instagram tried all its nonsense, let me just bypass all of those comments. Thanks everyone for trying to help us to see and understand what's happening. I see a lot of other people's lives restarting, so it's not just us tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me have a look. So Miss Cupid 2020 joined, and she said the reason why this is happening is because IG knows that so many people are going over to Twitch, and it's our punishment.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. As you said, Shiloh's Draws joined us. Who else joined us? Oh, Miss Cupid 2020 also said that it's that you're sitting in the house with your coat on, and I said that's because it's freezing.
Coat on, heating on, everything. Blow heater on.
And an additional blow heater as well. You know, you're cold.
Yeah.
You're cold.
Don_Deadly joined.
All right.
Israelites also joined us as well. Thank you for joining. Retro_the_original has joined us. Thank you for joining.
Okay.
See how I said that one?
Yeah.
See, you speak slowly. I got my teeth in tonight.
You must
teeth in tonight.
She must have the teeth in.
It's the cleanse. Let me see one more person I can see. Afaron_Gordon.
What?
Thank you for joining us, everyone. So
Yes.
yes, you may continue.
Thank you very much, Royal Correspondent. Thank you very much. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
thank you for putting your teeth in today. That's excellent. Yeah. So
Come on, you don't mind that Claude leave you and go on, what's that thing called? Where Carol Vorderman, can I have a consonant, please, Claude? You better mind that next about the correspondent. Because she's good, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yeah, Lord.
Oh, yeah. I thought you put yourself on mute. Put yourself on mute. Oh. Don't come for me until I call for you, all right? Anyway, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Yeah, where was we? What did you start off doing? Like, tell us about you on a child as a boy.
Yeah, so I've got older siblings, but they're not older than me. Like my sister, it was her birthday actually on the weekend, big her up. She's 10 years older than me. She looks 21 still.
Right, that's what I say. You don't be saying 10 years older like that.
No, but she is though. She's my big sis, you know. So, and my brother's older than her. So it was like having extra cool parents. You know, parents that know what you're up to. Yeah, so you can't even slide nothing past them. But we didn't live in the same house. They're my dad's children. You know what I mean? So I spent a lot of time in the house, bored. My mum's on the phone chatting to her girlfriends and doing what she got to do. And my grandma says the devil find work for idle hands. So I had to find something constructive to do, you know? So I used to draw and write stories.
Okay.
And then about 1996,
you've always been a creative then?
Yeah, from day one. If not, I get hyperactive. I'm just too, like now they'd probably have some letters to put on me or something like this, but back in the day.
Yeah, they didn't,
Back in the day, I was just too eggs up, sit down and relax yourself, you know? But that turned into, I think, then I started remix adverts. So, you know, like it'd be, I can't even think of no advert now from back in the day, but
the Milky Bar Kid.
All right, and then I'd have to just, yes, exactly that. Them kind of something, and I would just switch the words around, and then I got to sing it to my mum, and she'd catch two jokes, or to my nan, or, do you know what I mean? And then the Fugees came out, Puff Daddy and the Family came out that year, and one other album came out, and from that, it was over. It was a wrap. Like, that is it.
Literally a wrap.
See it there? Yeah. So from then I start write lyrics, like of my own lyrics, or I think it might have been a loss. I think it might have been a loss, Money, Power, Respect. But one of them something there, all them, they came out and they kind of really caught my attention. They really inspired me. I could relate to what the people had to say. So I just started penning lyrics. And my mum sent me to the youth theatre because, like I said, I was too excited around the house. I need audits. She's trying to just, you know, do housework and stuff. And I'm like, Mom, look at me. So she sent me to youth theatre. And you got Cat from MTV was our
mentor?
Yeah, he was our kind of our tutor kind of thing. And we had to do a play. And I got there late one day. So all the rap slots were taken. I was heartbroken. And then it was either do dance, rap, the acting ones were taken, or comedy. If anyone knows anything about me, I hate choreographed dance. I have nightmares about that. I wake up sweating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
That's 6, the next challenge. Never tell people your weakness. That's your next challenge. The next time you're coming and you're doing a dance routine, watch.
That stuff scares me. You see, like old Freddy Krueger, that stuff scares me. Yeah. When I see people them start, see like what they call not versatile diversity, and then where they're like, and I get palpitations. Yeah. So I ended up doing a comedy, a stand-up comedy.
See, your comedy was from a long time. That's why you're a funny guy.
But I weren't funny though. That was the worst thing. When I had to be funny, it was pressure. So I give a lot of respect out to comedians that can go on stage, crack jokes, be comfortable within themselves. And because I went on stage and I did what I had to do, and they all just looked at me awkwardly for about 3 minutes after I finished, and then they gave me an awkward, nervous clap to get me off. And at that point, I knew rap was the one. Forget comedy, yeah? Rap was the one. So.
Okay. Wow, 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 wow. So, in terms of rap, you said a few of them caught your eye. So, who do you see yourself as more, the type of artist who you are? Who do you see yourself in? Or who would, yeah.
People chuck me in the bracket of a conscious rapper. They say that you're a conscious rapper. I wouldn't even consider myself rapper. I don't even like the word rapper. Yeah, because not so much now, but kind of, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, you say rapper to people and they think, I don't know, 50 Cent, people getting shot 5 times. They think Snoop Dogg, lots of scantily clad women dancing with champagne. I don't drink champagne. Scantily clad women don't follow me around. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe babies in nappies or something. Do you know what I mean? But I don't have. Do you know what I mean? So
your kids.
Yeah, that's as far as it goes. You know what I mean? So, so the word rapper is. I'm just more of a creative vessel. Same like I used to draw. See my daughter, she draws now. Do you know what I mean? So it's in us. It's something in us. Apparently my dad used to write. My sister was telling me she used to write before she started working for the council, and then she started write reports to pay her bills. You know. So it's more just a thing of I'm a thinker, I'm a critical thinker. I look at things, I analyze things, and then I've got to find ways to express it. So this year, I haven't really wrote a lot. The more time I write lyrics all the time, morning, noon, night. Like whatever I see, it's a good way of channeling, like a diary or a journal. It's just kind of how I deal with it. But this year I haven't. But then, like this week I've been feeling a bit. I don't know whether it be the weather. I don't know whether it be social media, all the things in the world, but I was feeling a bit, not down, but just a bit, what?
Me and Claude were saying exactly the same thing. This week's been a funny week. It's been a funny week. Energy's been a bit, not low, but it's not the same. It's not the same. I don't know if it's because all the things that, as you say, is going on in the world, going in our lives, and in terms of, what's going on at the moment, or what is it? You know what I mean? You just have to think, what's going on? What moon is it? What moon is it? You start thinking, what's going on here?
It was a Gemini moon still. And it was full moon too, so that might have...
I'm a Gemini.
When you born?
Gemini.
What day?
May the 22nd.
My wife's May 23rd, and my daughter that was just in there is June 10th.
Oh, my daughters are May the 25th and June the 11th.
See it there?
See, so maybe that's why. But Claudette's May the 14th.
Okay. Twins are twins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So 3 Geminis, my daughters, with me and my daughters, 3 Geminis.
Okay. That's very transparent, very communicative. No holds barred.
Right. I'll soon start freestyling and all that. No, all right. I won't. Not today. Next time. But so we hear what you're saying. Go on, sorry.
No, I was just feeling kind of thing. So, and then I started to think, and I think this year where I've been less and where I'm trying to focus on other things, music isn't in the front of my focus. But you don't realize how much you use these things as, you see some people take medication, or some people like little things like my exercise, my juicing. So I didn't juice this week either. And I just start to notice the dip in my energy. But it was to notice that, and then I went and did a little bit of creativity. I did a song quickly today. And so this thing is a therapy for me. It's not just that someone's born on a knife. It's not just some people do things for entertainment, or they do it to... It's therapy. It just gets all the things outside that are in me, all the toxins out. I feel better as a person. And as well, it's like I can listen to any song that I've made and go back and know where I was at that time. So it's almost like a calendar, or like I said, like a journal. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because, as you know, we was on a cleanse. We was doing this cleanse. Well, we're still on it, but
looking fresh.
Yeah,
glowing.
So,
I see you both.
Yeah. So thank you. So we felt the dip this week, and that's what we were saying. So when you're saying that, and I don't know, maybe we should be on the cleanse forever, because our energies were definitely higher while we was doing this cleanse. And the thing is, we was eating a lot different. We still are eating the same way, to be fair, now, because we're plant-based mainly anyway, so we still ate the same sort of way throughout there. But because we was doing the cleanse, we was physically doing that cleanse, this week it feels a little bit different because we only finished on Sunday, although we're still doing the clay part of it. But that dreaded clay. But yeah, so yeah, there's something in it, you know, there's something in it, as you said, there's something in it.
I was saying that today, wasn't I? That,
yeah, it was.
I don't really normally eat fruit, but I made an effort to really eat a lot of fruit during the cleanse.
Yeah.
And this week I haven't been eating as much, and that might be why I'm feeling a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see, when you consume less things, there's less in you. So you're more perceptive to what's going on around you. And then when you're saying you're just on a fruit is of the earth. So fruit is gonna put you back in tune with the earth. Like, for example, I live a plant based, but some weeks I'm living more ITAR, other weeks it might be more vegan, and some weeks I'm just a bit whatless, like I might be on a whole heap of bread. And then you feel heavy, you feel stodgy, you feel, you know, so you are what you consume, or even down to what you watch, the people that you're around. Like, see, as we're coming out of lockdown, I didn't per se go into lockdown. I didn't lock my door, stay in my house. If I got things to do, I got to work, I go and do that. I was furloughed for a little bit, but I got my kids, I got to go and pick up. So I was still out from the majority of the time, I wasn't gallivanting, running in the streets like a madman, but you know, you've got things to do. But a lot of the people that I might have gone and checked may have had other people that were vulnerable around them, and I'm not going to force my political or social views on anybody, so, or make anyone feel under pressure. I'm coming to check you. Well, no, my slate. No, bun baby like that. Come on, man. Like, you have to respect people and how they live. So since then, I haven't really been around people as much. Now things are freeing up, and a lot of people even are bored of isolating, or they're coming. I don't really even feel to engage because I've been in my own energy for so long, and I'm so when I'm around other people or other energies on the bus or on, you can feel it. You pick up on it. Someone even in front of you might be thinking something, and not like you can read their mind, but you know. So
that's so true. That's so true. Seriously, me and Claude we even spoke about it earlier, just not long ago today, about the change. Is it because we've come out of lockdown and we're supposed to be mingling again, or whatever? It's the energy has changed, and there's something definite in that. But before you come back, there's a lot of movement in the chat, and our royal correspondent would go to sleep if she doesn't talk in a moment, or she'll start talking under her breath or something, or go and drink water when she's meant to be doing things. But so Claude, tell us what's been happening, please. Tell us what's happening.
Okay. Here I am, put the red carpet. Juliet said that she's a Gemini as well.
Hey.
Her birthday is on the 9th.
Oh, wow. Of 9th of June.
She's a gem.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
She's a gem. Curly Locks joined us.
Hey.
Her queen. She joined us.
Hi.
And Link Me Honey Bee.
What?
Hey.
What? I'm my sister that. Not my blood.
Honey Bee. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yes. Officially Flexitarian, it's my pleasure to join.
Thank you.
And did you say that was your sister?
It's my sister-in. My sister-in from so it's LA.
From LA, okay. From the States. Hey, from the States. Thank
and
you.
she's a big reggae artist, so go check her out still. And
we'll check it out.
Okay, we will. And she says that wheat and soy do us no favours. So I say that they make me feel bloated.
Yeah. It's true.
Muslerson has joined us. Thank you for joining us. And Link Me Honeybee says they are fillers, not fuel. Unfortunately, people new to plant-based eating consume a lot of it, and it has little value. It's so true. When I became plant-based, I was eating a lot of wheat because I didn't really know what else to eat. It's so true.
Yeah, you can't eat wheat. Anyway, on general diets, it's too much for you. That was one of the first things I cut out when I became plant-based, was that. I barely have wheat stuff, and so true.
Max the cab driver.
Hey.
Happy birthday, brother.
Is it his birthday?
Uh-huh.
Oh, happy birthday, Max the cab driver.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you for joining us on your birthday.
Yeah.
You could have been out doing... Oh, no, you couldn't.
Well, you can, but in the park.
with sticks, but not indoors, outdoors.
Yeah, with
Right.
six. Yeah.
Yes. Eleanor Doherty has joined us. Thank you for joining.
Hey.
We got Eleanor.
Ricky joined us. Ricky Noel, Ricky. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Ricky.
Mr. Noel.
Hey, Ricky, you're so fine. Hey, Mick. Oh no, that's Mickey, isn't it? Oh, sorry, I got it wrong.
Yeah, that's Mickey, Pam. Corina Dallas 66 has joined us as well. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Corina.
Yes, Corina. You guys in the studio.
Oh, thank you very much, Royal Correspondent.
You're welcome.
All right.
Myself on mute. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, you've told us about your getting into music, because do people see you and first initially see you and think you're gonna be like a reggae artist singing reggae? That's what they think, isn't it?
They expect a similar rendition. You know what I mean? They expect a carbon copy of that, but like His Majesty, the reason why like when there's a Rasta man, because it's about the I self. It's about knowing yourself. It's not about copying nobody. Do you know what I mean? So as much as I love Sizzler and they inspire me and all these things, but carbon copy is not Rasta. So that's he didn't copy nobody. He come and do His Majesty. So for I to come and copy a next man, that's a waste. My mum wasted her time carrying me 9 months. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
Original energy.
Exactly. So they're probably very shocked when they realize, hey, you're all right. What do you call it? A creative
vessel.
A creative vessel, which is geared towards like hip hop style, isn't it? Like a hip hop style. So you're like a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
And so people must be like, what's going on here? You know what I mean?
One time back in the 2000s, I went to a gig in Ponders End, Crouch End, I think it was. And when I got there were some young people there in the audience doing what they're doing. I think they was going to do some grime or something. Some spitting with their fingers like this, and I see them, they see me, they see, like, not uncle, but bless up, you see the rats, hail him up, Because I was a bit younger these times, So I held them up. Then the man must have called my name, said, in a bit, we're going to have a Raggo Zulu Rebel. All these young people, they're in their team, just started rolling around the place laughing, like, belly laughing, giggling their socks off, When I went on and done my thing, they was like, rare, because my thing is for them. Do you know what I mean? It's that, like, as much as you say like it's a reggae thing, because reggae is what influenced me. Your Sizzler, your Luciano, your K Putton, your Richie, them man there give me the banner, Peter Tosh, Bob, Gregory, all them man give it to me. And I just put it in a little translator to chat directly to the next generation, because they might not listen to that. That might be their grandparents something. Do you know what I mean? So
agreed.
It's just that kind of halfway bridge from this generation to that generation. And now my thing's getting a bit old now. Now you got the drill generation. It's the whole next something. But
Yeah. That's real hard, right? That's real hard.
The drill is too hard for me, but let them do their thing.
But actually the actual music is quite good actually. I actually do. I like the music of it. It's quite good.
I just can't keep up though, man. Like I said, I'm getting arthritis in my knees and thing. I can't. It's moving too quick for me.
Hence, that's why he's wrapped up like this in his house. He's trying to protect the arthritis. Don't want it. And sitting down, yes.
Granddad Zulu Rebel, you get me?
You're not a granddad yet, are you?
No. I got at least 8 to 10 years.
Okay, so you're
my
right.
is 13, so I had my first at 20, 21. So I've given them 19. I give them hopefully it won't, and they move on. But I wouldn't knock them for it,
Yeah, you wouldn't be angry with them because they're grown. They're a bit grown. They will be grown then. I hear you. Yeah. So in terms of that, you say, in terms of music, you chose a different channel than the one that is probably expected of you because of who you are, or your way of life. So that actually gives it a different spin on it. For people that don't know about Raggo Zulu Rebel, he's doing something different. And as he said, he wasn't born. His mum never carried him for 9 months, 9 to 10 months actually. They say, you always say 9 months, didn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you was late as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. See you. You must have been up in the. You was dancing in the room. You was actually dancing, and that's why you've forgotten it now. That you was dancing to get out.
Apparently, my mum used to toast back in the day, like not as a professional or nothing, but it's what she told me. She used to spit two lyrics, so she could all have been like a Jasaka sound system or something like that, you know, the bass line just in there.
Oh wow, MC Mummy, boy, on the ones and twos.
See it there?
Sorry. But yeah. So what? So with that, where is it that you want to get to with your music?
I'm kind of here. I'm here. Like what I wanted, everything I wanted to do when I started in '96, I've done. I can do it on a bigger level, on a bigger stage, on a bigger platform. But the main thing was one, to speak for us, and to kind of, because I grew up on a lot of New York hip hop, a lot of like LA hip hop, the Snoop and Dre and all that kind of something.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do it for here. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Look at the scene that we have now. And so many MCs and artists that are brought in or that are put on and they've gone on to do their thing. Without jumping the gun, we do workshops and all this. And so I pass on the baton on a daily. Some of my ambitions were to run a label, to shoot a music video, and to inspire people and to bring them forth. There's hundreds upon hundreds of artists I've worked with, or that were kind of not too sure when I met them, and when I left, they were big, bad, and bossy. So the works, it's like do you know them flowers when you're a kid and you kick them and the seed goes everywhere?
Yeah, I know what ones are called. What are they called? Fairies. The fairies. They're called fairies.
Yes.
Fairies, yeah.
And then they grow, and then they grow, and then they grow another one, and they grow another one. It spread like a virus, you know, but a positive one. So spread like wildfire.
Well, you know, you've led us into what my next question was, or my next point was, in terms of yourself. Yeah, you do music, but even more so, you provided an opportunity for others to do music. And you speaking about music labels, so you decided to do a music label. Tell us about that. Tell us more about that. So,
around about 2013, 2014, I was a bit upset and depressed and vexed with music. And like you said, you say about energies. When you mix your energies with other people, you take on a lot of energy. So I had to go kind of into isolation. Life was going a bit up and down. I had a couple problems in whatever. And it was what to do. And then I met my business partner, and she was like, listen, you got talent, I got talent, my business partner, Mariana. And she's like, we need to turn around and make this official, because there's lots of things that we can get to that we couldn't do as individuals, but we can as a label. And I think she did also ask me what was my ambitions when I started this, and I said that was to run a label. So she's like, why do you do it? So I was like, I don't know. She's a lot better with the technical aspects. I'm a lot better with the passion. Creative. I'm just a passionate person. No, she's creative too, but she can, when it comes to the techie aspect kind of thing. So it's like
me and Claude. We both got our roles. We're good at both things. We can both do both of what our roles are, but we kind of drawn to what we do, because you either sell at it better, or you know, that sort of thing. So you know where your strengths lie, or you know what would fit for what you need in your partnership. In their role.
And you got to work to your strengths. And then also, just masculine and feminine balance. There's certain men that don't want to work with me. Certain people that don't, or maybe intimidated by the vibes. I don't even know. I don't worry about what's going on in the next man's head. But access I couldn't get to over there, she can get to. Access she might not be able to get to over there, I can get to. So you just bring in the best of both worlds. She's a singer. I'm a rapper. So put that together, and that's where we kind of started around about 2015 or 16, I think it was. And we've just been building ever since.
So it's just crazy. But sorry, I want to come back to you, but there's comments in there, but I just want to know if there's a problem with what's the live at the moment, because
you're too noisy.
Yeah, and I see it. But
my commentarians, right?
Commentarians, you know. Oh wow.
So let me tell you what's happening here. What's going on here? So Proud and Gifted have joined us.
Hey.
Boss Beeps 2019. Thank you for joining. Michael 6672, my
brother Michael.
Brother has joined. Thank you for joining us. Reiki with Denise has joined. Thank you for joining us.
Hey. Hey with the healing hands. Hey with the healing hands.
Oh, yes. Fiery Little T has joined us.
Yay.
There's Artificially Flexitarians. Hey.
Hey.
So Juliet G. Reynolds says, there's a message saying that if having trouble loading the live video, try again later. Sorry, it was my first time and I was so enjoying listening to the chat and laughter. I see the messages posting. That happens sometimes, Julia. You might have to come out and come back in. Try that, because that was happening to me the other day on somebody's live.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll be able to get back and join us. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah. And if you're watching it on a laptop or thing, it freezes more often on a laptop.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
some
true.
reason, yeah.
Instagram plays with us sometimes.
Okay.
So Silver_Links has joined, and Fiery Little T is waving.
Hey.
It's waving. Okay.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to make sure there was an issue and that people couldn't. All I could see was that it was frozen, so I didn't want people to not hear.
I can see you on the computer.
Okay. Didn't see and hear Raggo Zulu. That's good. That's fine. Yeah, sorry, Raggo Zulu. Did you pin that thought? Did you pin what you were saying?
And as well, a big part of running the label was oftentimes, as an artist, you find glass ceilings and gatekeepers and people that are trying to keep things for themselves. So we decided to create this platform to give people an opportunity that might not be able to get to that, or people that are on the fringe or on the outside, or people that are even scared to even go up and ask. Somewhere which is a comfortable creative space for creatives to get together and do what they want to do. So even if they don't necessarily want to stay and hang around forever, but you come in, you feel comfortable, you get an experience, and then maybe you take that onwards. But it's just about having that platform or that open, safe space to kind of get your talent off and not to worry about, certain times people are sniggling or laughing at you, or as you're trying to develop yourself. And so it was a space to make people grow,
Yeah. And so they feel comfortable to be able to express what their talent is or whatever it is that they're trying to do.
Because a lot of the time they give, and even if it's not necessarily within the scene, within the industry, all right, you can be in it, but you have to do this, or you got to look that way, or you got to dress so, or you have to, there's so much criteria and all these pressure on the young artist. And then whatever the latest phase is, if the latest phase is a gunman thing, everyone, but the latest phase is a madman thing and everyone's on a, like, who are you and what do you have to say? Because have you ever seen Happy Feet?
Yes.
Every one of us have a song, but what's your song? Do you know what I mean? And see how and his song wasn't even a singing, his song was a dancing. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't give that room to figure it out, you're just going to continue to mimic someone else. Do you know what I mean? So it was room for people to find themselves and express themselves.
Yeah. So you get them it's a creative hub, basically, to be able to come, as you say, experience what it is like to have that, like a recording artist vibe. That how they would be if they was in the profession, for a little while, because some people don't get to do studio for a little while. People don't even get to that point where they've got you're like a big brother or mentor, uncle. Not really. No, so go put on you because you're wrapped up in your blanket. No, but like you know what I mean. You're a person that they can come to who's had experience, who's been doing this for a while now, and you started in that mindset, like how you said before. You came, you had to figure yourself out. You had to know who you was. So you can give. You got that wealth of experience that they may not get. You're giving them a chance to be able to get to the point where they feel free to express themselves how they want to be, how they should be, or should be for themselves, should I say, not how they should be for anyone else, but how they should be for themselves. That's really
a lot of artists get out there, they bust, they get big, they do their first album, they do the second album, and then they go crazy because they realize who they actually are, or they release an album and no one don't like them because they like them doing their impression of this. So before you get out there and it's too late and you end up on a Lady Gaga or Britney Spears and you have to shave your head and all this kind of business, help them start it from off, you know?
Yeah. Let them be themselves from the beginning. Let them express how they are. So you started that in when? When did you start your label?
I think it was about 2015 or 16.
Okay.
It was around about then. Like, other than this year, I've never really looked back. I just keep going. And that's good in some aspects, but then you miss so much. You don't see the scenery or the forest for the trees. Do you know what I mean? You're just tunnel vision. So this year, like I said, I've had a lot of time to kind of sit down, figure things out, look at things in a different aspect, value some of the things that I've gone through, remember things I forgot, and I'm kind of very appreciative of that. I had to make the most. So, like, a lot of bad things have happened, but it's the yin and yang. Do you know what I mean? If you only look at the yin, you never notice the yang, you know, or vice versa.
Vice versa, yeah. So in that space that you know you provided in terms of your music label, it involves production as well in terms of their music. And so do you? I know you spoke about earlier about workshops.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about those. What is it that you do in those workshops?
Now we'll take it back to where it began. As a young artist, I used to be in the youth theatre. I used to be in Stratford Youth Theatre. That's where I started doing the comedy stuff and whatever. So big up Stratford Youth Theatre. Anyway, you're there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is where it started in a room with a bunch of other young creative people, or even if they wasn't that creative, but young people that wanted to learn something, and someone a bit older than us that gave up their time because they don't pay them that well. Do you know what I mean? At that point, but they gave up their time and their care because as well they could pay them and then they turn up and don't really give us no mind. But they gave us their focus, their energy, their attention, and they helped us to find ourselves. So then, as we get a bit older, you become the workshop leader or you become the supporting. So that kind of happened, and then a lot of the elders left. Most of my peers have always been older than me. So as all my elders left, I was kind of left a bit as you rise up. So we start giving the workshops to the younger people. Then my first rap partner, Stallion Solo from Homerton, Hackney, in the house, he was doing workshops in schools around Newham, and a couple other places, and he took me with him to be his apprentice. And we were doing workshops in Sarah Burnell. Ty was doing some workshops there around about the same time, RIP. And that's kind of where that started, like on a professional level. Like after the workshop finished, he gave me a little money. I was like, what's this for? He was like, oh, you know, you earn your keep. I was like, what? Where? That kind of grew a bit. And then we started had another friend, Abdul, from the workshops, and he was doing workshops in prisons in Feltham.
Right.
So I started kind of taking that format, which I had across the Feltham, to do some workshops, working with young offenders. We ended up in Birmingham doing some workshops. So I did this for a while, and then it came to an abrupt stop because I decided, no, I'm an MC. I want to MC. This is my focus. Forget everything else. I want to release my first EP, and that kind of went away for a bit. And then I started doing workshops with an organisation called UPress, and those were kind of to break the stigma on certain groups, specific groups. See, that's the UPress family. Big up Farrah in the house. And they're a social enterprise from London, and they were doing workshops with people that were that had been homeless, people that, I don't like the word ex-offenders, but people that had problems with the law previously and were trying to get their lives on track. We ended up going to Bosnia to work with some of the mums from the genocide in '95. And what would happen? You spend a certain amount of time with the individuals, then you and you get to know them and their story, and then you tell their story in song.
Wow.
Then we'd have a show, you'd invite them, their family, other people from the local community, and that breaks the stigma. So say, for example, you could be a grandma and you've never been on the road, you've never met an ex-offender, and you think, they're all the kids that you see on Crime Watch. Then you get to kind of meet and know a bit about their story and find out these people are just like you. There's no difference. You come out your house and walk down the different road that day, it could have been you. And so it brings down the stigma, and it makes people work or care for each other a bit more. So...
And music is a universal language, isn't it? It breaks many barriers. So therefore, you was able, you and UPress was able to get their stories out there in that format, which made it kind of translatable between, you know, whether you spoke well good English or not really. Because
Some of the people, for example, with the Bosnian thing, and as well, it is a mix of people from the community, people from all different communities. It's London. But when we went to Bosnia, a lot of the people that have heard that music or have gone on, they don't speak English per se. Do you know what I mean? But they know the song word for word. Do you know what I mean? So even that, it's breaking barriers. We went to Italy and we did a workshop in Italy with some young people, and I just basically taught them one of my songs. And we played it from scratch, all instruments, and they all sung along, and we did harmonies and keys and notes, and Marina was getting them to, she's a vocal coach as well, so she's getting them to, or that Bone Thugs. With
scales, she was doing scales.
Yeah. Like, I just stick to the rapping, I can't sing, you know, I ain't good at that part, you know, but, yeah, so like you said, while people are building barriers and building walls and building all sorts, we're building bridges, you know?
Yeah. Well done. Claude. Before Raggo Zulu tells us a little bit more, tell us what's going on. I see movements.
Okay, so Stacks Fit joined us and Ideal Artist. I can't remember if I told you those two before.
One second, Claude.
Wait, 1 second, Claude. Hold on.
Sorry.
Stacks Fit is a coach. He coaches my son in boxing. He's excellent at what he does. People want your coaching, personal trainer, any of them thing. You're in South London, follow him up, give him a shout. And you guys maybe even follow up, because maybe you guys can, because he's bringing good works to the community. He works a lot with young people. Salute the man anywhere he is.
All right. We'll be in contact, Stacks Fit.
Not snacks, fam. You're thinking after the cleanse. Snack, not snack.
Oh, just one.
Not eat snacks and get fit.
Oh, just one snack.
It's not eat snacks and get fit, okay? It's Stacks Fit.
Oh, Stacks. Oh, sorry. Snacks. Yeah, I am thinking it's a cleanse.
The cleanse is taught
It's a
to
cleanse.
you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies.
Sorry.
Go on, please.
Okay, so Break the Cycle joined us. So greetings.
Hey.
Chanel joined us as well. Thank you for joining. Hey. And Break the Cycle said he sounds like Gets a little bit.
I'm from East London. He's from Plaistow. I'm from Upton Park. So.
See the connection.
You see the connection there? Yes, and they also say that everything seems to be in South London. It's so true.
Yeah.
Everything is South London.
Yeah.
It's true.
Fiery Little T says, love this chat. Yeah, so this is what's going on.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, Royal Correspondent, and back to you, Raggo Zulu Rebel.
1 minute.
Oh, hold on.
Cycle said, no way. I'm from Upton Park.
What? E7 in the house, E13.
She said it exactly as it was, how it was meant to be read. So yeah.
I'm from Upton Park.
In the East
Okay. I knew she would leave it to me. Audit life_lifestyle join. I knew she would do that, you know.
Oh, AWJT. That's my wife.
Oh, hi, Empress. Hi.
AWJT_lifestyle.
See, look. I'm saying it all one word, you know. It's your fault. What's the next one then, called?
That's what I'm gonna start calling it Audit. All right, Audit.
Call me Mandy.
Hi. Okay. All right. No, it's call me Amandi.
Amandi. He's one of our. He was one of our participants on one of the workshops that we do now. So we've got a workshop called a Collective. We get 15 young people, 15 to about 25. Give them 15 weeks. We teach them what we know, and at the end of it, they come in great. They leave out marvelous. They leave out divine. You know. So he's a graduate. He's done some work with us. He's releasing some singles himself. He's also a dancer. He's also I think he's a prayer warrior. He's a devout Christian, and he promotes the word among the community. Positive young people, bro. So big up Amandi anywhere he is.
Oh, well, tell us about your workshops. You said that was one of your workshops. So what other workshops that you do?
So at the moment, we're running the Collective, and the Collective is kind of the the thing at the moment. And like I said, it's about 15 young people. We used to get them in a room. Now we get them in a Zoom. And
from room to Zoom.
Zoom. Yeah. So yeah, we get them on. And it's about just teaching them a bit about the industry. It's about teaching them a bit about the songwriting skills that we have. It's about finding out who they are and their style, and it's about teaching them a bit of branding and how to put themselves out there. We get them in the studio. They make an album of songs that they've wrote themselves. We put on a big show. Sometimes at Rich Mix. The last ones have been at Rich Mix, and then they go off to become a Mandy. You know?
Oh, wow.
I think me and Pam should sign up for the workshops. When's the next one starting?
Claudette, young people.
We are coming.
I'm joking.
We are coming for over 25s, and we've also, just before lockdown came, obviously this one doesn't apply to you young ladies, but we did one. We did one over 50s. We did do an over 50s one for the more mature. No, but we have a range of services that we provide. So the over 50s was for a lot of people that are feeling.
What age range, Claude?
Don't have it, Claude. Don't have it.
Your
age range.
YT, pretty young thing. Don't have it. Yeah.
Oh, you know your OAP. Say you know she. 35. And that's a lie. That's a lie. 35, you know. All right. Wow. But yeah, so yeah, Claudette.
A bit too quickly, I'm sorry, RG, and you went over a little bit too quick to the over 50s. Slow down a little bit.
Stop it! Calm down! Stop it! Yes, sorry, Raggo Zulu Rebel, before the royal correspondent had to get involved. Yeah, okay, mute. Yeah.
Yeah, so we offer a range of services, but basically the main thing is one, bringing people together, and two, each one teach one. We all know something. So you bring the information you got to the table, I bring the information. Because the workshops ain't just us teaching them stuff. I learn stuff from these all the time. These are always teaching me stuff, you know what I mean? And even when they move on from the workshop, I learn from the progresses because it's their time. Like, I'm becoming, not a dinosaur yet, but we're becoming obsolete, like the Betamax, while these are the new and in thing, you know? So...
Betamax, who remembers, shout out to Betamax one time, video recorders, who remembers those?
Yeah.
Wow, Betamax, you know. Yeah, sorry, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Claudia come off mute again. I don't know why she's talking and laughing.
Listen, laughter is medicine for the soul. It's all good.
Yeah. Mute.
She's a meanie, because she's being mean today. It's the cleanse.
It's the cleanse. I'm going to blame everything on the cleanse.
All the wickedness come out.
Yeah. Are the toxin there. Are the toxin. But anyway, yeah, no, not really. You know it's not like that, Claude. You know it's not like that. But yeah, so she's on mute, but she came off of mute to say she's on mute. Who does that? And I know she's laughing and busting up right now. She's so mad. Sorry, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Come on. Behave yourself, Claude.
You've got a good tag team. How long have you been rolling deep?
Since she was about 9 years old, and Claudette's 50. And Claudette's 50, so that's a long time. It's a long time. It's a long time.
She's older than me, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Don't listen to her.
By a year, but I'm not 50. I'm not 50 yet.
When I met her, she had dry knees and chapped lips, and she was over by the road swings, and I took pity on her.
It's the other way round.
What?
It was the other way round. That was her. You see, I was older, so you know, by that time I had my own cocoa butter and stuff. She didn't have her. She was still sharing. She was still sharing. I had my own cocoa butter. You didn't have that.
If you have dry knees and dry lips, you need to follow up my wife because she's got the AWJT skincare. And
that's right.
The shea butter bay, the lip, the Vaseline, the sacred bath, all them something to take care of you. See? You never see me looking dry again. Maybe before we got married, but never again. So
shea butter. What's the song called? Shea butter.
Shea butter bay.
Yeah, that's it. Shea butter bay. See? Yeah. I love that. You support you guys as a couple, I mean, we've gone off a bit off subject, but you guys are a force to be reckoned with because you really do support each other in what ventures that you're doing, and that's really important when you're going into any kind of business or, you know, as a creative, you need to have that support of each other, and I think that's really good. And the way how you're able to, you know, plug right now and promote on a normal basis is fantastic. She's doing big things, people. Check her out. Never mind how Claudette pronounced it. No, well, it was me, but she didn't know how to. So, but yes, AWJT
Yeah, that's the
underscore
one.
lifestyle
That's the one.
underscore lifestyle. Yeah, it's a lifestyle for real, people. Come on, come on.
You
Yeah,
never be dry
sorry.
again. See that Liverpool, you never walk alone, you never dry again. Yeah?
Claudette's gonna sing it now. Let's mute her. Let me to block her. No, really. See, oh, she's off mute as well. You know, she's gonna sing any minute now. Anyway. Told you. Told you. I told you. I told you she was.
You're a Liverpool fan, yeah? Okay, okay. And who you support?
Arsenal. 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 I'm an Arsenal supporter.
Yeah,
Arsenal
that's
for
my
life.
brother. My brother man is an avid ride or die from when till then, Arsenal to the bone, you know. They've been they was under they're so deep in Arsenal, it was when Arsenal was in Woolwich. Yeah, that's how long they've been. Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to get a ferry to go across there.
See it
You had to
there?
get a ferry. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back in the day, that's true supporters. That's right. I like that. I like that. Yeah. So it's really, it's, you know what? Let's get back to you in all seriousness in terms of what you're doing. You're providing, as I said, it's a creative hub for people to come and express themselves musically. Even you do like production and behind the scenes of music as well, don't you? Within your
We have some producers that we work with and we bring them to the table because the thing is, it's not forced. Not by force is what we're dealing with. So if this artist likes this producer, even before I did this, like when I was a kid, in youth theatre days, I set up a collective of artists and it was called Exodus and Exodus First Movement, and it was just me and my friend them, and some of them do this and some of them do that, and see some people, if you got a one friend and they got something, don't come, that's my friend, back up,
yeah,
none of that.
yeah,
Like I bring people
yeah,
together. What? Not friends I don't even chat to again, but them is all good friend and marry up and whatever
yeah,
because we cross paths for a reason at a time in life, you know? So, whereas I noticed I had that ability to bring people together, you just continue to use that in different formats and different ways, you know?
exactly. And you know, it's um it's something that's natural to you because not everybody has that and that ability to, as you say, get people together for the greater good because what you're doing is providing a service that many people would not have access to. So you just open the doors to provide not only a musical space but a safe space as well because you're actually giving them that creative space to be able to feel comfortable to do what they want to do. Yeah, so it's a round of applause for that. I thought I'll give you a round of applause for that one because
It's all about energy. It's all about the energy because music is a vibration, yeah? But everything is a vibration. The place we live is the universe. Uni is one and verse is song, yeah? The science man will turn around and tell you about the Big Bang. The Bible or the Quran man will tell you about let there be light. It was a vibration. It was a thought. Then it was a vibration that went out and things, like you throw a stone in a river, it ripple. And it goes far, farther than you can even see, you know?
yeah,
We just keep flinging stone, skim stone.
yeah, skimming, yeah,
Skim them.
yeah, that's good. That's good because it does. And the thing is, it's because you got the right energy, and also you're attracting people with the right energy that is able and it's successful, and you're able to continue doing what you're doing because, as you say, energy is all important. As we say, energy is all important because if you don't have it, that means that you're not gonna. It will put you off doing it, and you know you're doing this. And are you funded? Is it something that's funded?
We find funding from different places. We're a lot of self-investment. Because the thing is as well with some funding, just like I was saying to you about the label, it's very much about being indie. because enough time you get funded, and people then want to turn around and pull your tails on, no, you can't do that, or where you going with this, or do you know what I mean? So I like freedom of speech. I might wake up tomorrow and feel content because someone cussed 2 people, yeah? And I know what my funders told me and said, yo, Raggo, you can't do that, you know, brother. My name is Raggo for a reason, you know?
Right.
Maybe not always, and I'm in a lot more of a zen place. But if I do wake up tomorrow and my spirit tells me to do it, I'm gonna go with that. Raggo Zulu Rebel is not just an artist, it's a spirit, it's an energy, you know? So, and like the Raggo part, you know the word Raggo. Like,
yeah, Raggo. We used to say all the time, Raggo, just straight, really, just straight.
Right.
I'm just straight, you know,
and
Raggo.
even when you check the history of the etymology of the word, yeah? So yard is, you have ragga in yard, yeah? And the ragga thing was a ragga, it's a wireless, like you got reggae, which is kind of nice, but ragga was, way, and it's a bit hotter, and it's a bit more, woo, yeah? So, but then when it gets to the UK, it turned Raggo. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even Yardman, when Yardman see me, they don't call me Raggo. They say, yo, Raggo Zulu. You know? So, but in England, our thing, just like jungle or drum and bass, or that's our interpretation. So Raggo has a geography, it has a history, it has a Zulu. We all know who the Zulus were. They weren't having that. They sent them where they're backpacking. Yeah? Go about your business, yeah? And then Rebel, we all know what a rebel is. So when you put that together, that's a synergy. Remember when you see like on Sword in the Stone, the witches would put some things in a pot, bubble, toilet, and trouble. I fling it in the pot, cook that up like an idle stew, and we serve that one up, you know?
Yeah. Hey, you always work in threes. It's always a trinity. It's always a trinity.
Yeah.
Always a trinity. And that's a belief as well, isn't it? So how you work, it's amazing because we haven't even touched on the other venture that you've got, you know. So we've gone through your music, what you're working with in terms of your music label, and also you know, you're providing a community service, aren't you, in terms of the workshops and, you know, and that stuff there. What else are you doing? Let us know, let people know. All Raggo. We're going Raggo, straight Raggo.
So as far as the thing it's food, clothes and shelter, basically. That's the basic concept. That's the creed, the Rasta creed, yeah? Made take care, clothe the naked, feed the hungry, and take care of the elderly and the babe. Yeah. So I'm a dad. Right. I try to take care of my youth them to the best of my ability, and be there as either an influencer, even when certain domestics happen and you can't even see them every day, but you're still there as a upstanding person. So when they look in the world, they can see, or when they meet other people, they say, "Yo, you know your dad?" Da 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 da. Or if they see you doing sideways or whatever, they say, "Oh, your dad would love that," you know. So and even if it's not my pitney, nephews, nieces, Pitney Road, the youths, we take care of the youths, yeah. And then we have so, and then the food, that's the Come Down 100, which you guys know, because that's feeding the hungry, and not only just feeding them with rugga rugga and chukka chaka and any idiot food, but we try to show you, you know, and without a lot of time with the Come Down thing, when people turn around and take their plant-based journey or they're vegan, it turns into a cult, and then they start, what are you eating? Judgment. It's not fun.
Hey, hence that's why we call flexitarians. Nobody can't tell us something because it's what you eat is what you eat. But obviously we're within our, you know, we've got our limitations. You know, we don't eat everything. But no, our interpretation of how we're going to cook food and how we're going to make it or what we put together is our interpretation.
See it there?
So, yeah.
You just flex and you do it your own way, you know? So it's original, it's your,
going back to what you said about when you had to go into the comedy section of the youth fair. When I first saw it, I thought it was saying comedian, come down 100.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, there's some influence there with the comedy there. I mean, you are a funny guy, and I know you said you wasn't funny. I see that link there. But Claude, before you tell us about the clothing, is there something that you want to say, Claude, or are you going to sleep now? Oh, but you had gone to sleep or something. Come down with I. She give her own thing.
Aye.
Yeah, come down with I. Huh? What? Oh, you thought it was come down with, but yeah, she always used to say that. I said, no, Claude, that's not what it is.
I might have to make a next song for that one day, you know. I like that. Come down with I.
See it there? Claude? She's gonna want royalties. You know that.
All right. Turn it on. 10%.
Yeah. Claude, what's going on? Who's joined us and Raggo Zulu's gonna.
So somebody did ask me whether you really did have dry legs and chaplets, and I said yes.
It's not the truth. Don't listen to her. My legs were always clean. As I said, I had my own foxes, cocoa butter foxes. You know, in that tub, that yellow tub with the red writing. I had my own. I had my own jar. You don't know about them.
2020 is the unveiling. Everything I come out this year. Lord God, exposure.
Yeah.
Don't get salty. Let me tell you, lyrical to a music. Don't be salty. DB_18 as well has joined. DJ Jeddah joined us as well. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
And lyrical to a music said, Man City in the house.
Big up my bro from Manny. Big up my. Do you know what? Yeah, I used to be a Man United fan still, like back in the 90s. But then Eric Cantona left the game, and so did I.
You know what? You got to rate Eric Cantona. You always had to rate Eric Cantona. So.
Cantona and Roy Keane made the game exciting, yeah? Anything could happen in the game with them man there. Like, you come and watch the game and they'll fly kick a man in the third row.
A man might get drop kick. Like, real things I got. Like, them man don't play, you know. Serious business.
Yeah, he was the original Vinnie Jones, wasn't he? He was the original Vinnie Jones.
Yep.
Eric Cantona, boy, he would kick that man for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then them they could get away with it. To an extent.
I see man do it 1-2 with the ball and then what the yeah.
Claudette, we lost Claudette now. She's gone to sleep because she don't watch football. She don't know nothing about
I can't stand football personally. There's too much man in it, too much hairy legs, you know. None of them something there. But
that's too funny. But yes, Claude, have you
And Rachel DW joined.
Hey Rachel.
And lyrical to a music said, well said. Something that you guys were saying earlier.
and big up Lyrical 2A. That's my little bro from Manny. My brother from another. He's got a single featuring me coming out on the 5th called Year of the Jackal. So everyone just check him out. Lyrical 2A, Year of the Jackal, big him up.
Okay then. Wow. You know, we're gonna have to put on a little thing for all of your young people or people that you have involved in your production and your music label and stuff. We'll have to put something on with them. Yeah. We'll have to put something on with them very soon. Might have to do it on Zoom, set it up properly.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, how are we going to get everyone in and social distance them? Because some of them won't give it. Yeah. But yeah, you're one step ahead there. I see you.
Always. That's how it would be.
I see you.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us about Claude, had you finished?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. Start creaming your skin now. Bye. Tell us about your clothing, what you're doing with clothing and your clothing line.
So the clothing line basically is I always used to wear like funky t-shirts from a youth. My mum wasn't really trying to spend it on no big 15, 20 pound on a Nike t-shirt, yeah. When everyone was in a Nike tees, she went into them something there. And then I think when I was about 13, I went to Florida and I went to the swap meet and they had all kind of different t-shirts. All the American HBO had Sopranos and different graffiti design. And so from young, I always used to wear mad t-shirts. And then I started going on a quest to find them. I had one of my brethren's Irate, MODU Designs. He used to design clothes for the late, when we used to have the crew Exodus. And we'd have our own imprint with our own picture, face, and design and all. So back to just being original, basically, and not looking like everybody else. And one day my business partner said, you know what? Why don't we just do our own tees? And I was like, good idea. She's got a lot of good ideas, she does, still. So it just started off as t-shirts because as well, I used to I like graffiti when it's done well. Not just Sid was here 2020, you know what I mean? But art, like street art. So I'd always snap up the street art, and I said, I want to put that on a t-shirt. That should be on a t-shirt. So we just started putting street art on a t-shirt, and then from then it just started spawning. Then we did come down and we thought, all right, let's do some aprons. Then we started doing some beanie hats. Then it started to be some tracksuits. Like it just kind of just went from there, you know. And then it keeps on going.
Yeah, it's evolving naturally, isn't it? From one thing it becomes now, okay, I can have it in this and I can have it in that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Again, it shows your uniqueness, because you don't want to be the same as other people. You don't feel the need to have to follow the normal,
Yeah.
the norms, what people say are the norms in terms of how you're meant to look, what you're meant to have on, and being a creative and thinking about, okay, I like it, a t-shirt to have something different on it. And we really like the one that's got it's head called on there.
Oh, the Coned.
What's it called?
The Coned.
Yeah, the Conan. Yeah. We like that one. I think that's really good because it's you, and it represents you as well. So
That's the logo. So if you ever need me in an emergency, you just put that one there in the sky and you start playing the stalag rhythm. And before you see it, I just jump out of nowhere. Boop!
Wow, Gotham City and all that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's wicked. So, as you say, it's evolving all the time. What's next? Have you got an exclusive in terms of your clothing line? Have you got something that's...
What we may do is turn around and go bring back some of our classic lines, probably for next year. So we'll probably bring down some of the other stuff and then bring back some of the classics, some of the original parts kind of thing, and make it vintage,
T-shirts have definitely been a big thing this year. T-shirts, people are wearing all sorts of T-shirts. You know what it is? It's because most people are online. So even if they only have to see on the T-shirt, and people can see the T-shirt, they see it. But, T-shirts have been the statement thing this year. So it's brilliant that, that you're doing that as well.
Your T-shirt is your billboard. Enough of us, we don't have no big money to turn around and put a billboard or whatever. So T-shirt is marketing you or whatever you're about. It makes a statement. And where people want to make a statement. Once upon a time, everyone used to want to look like everybody else. Now people, especially in a place like London, listen, we're trendsetters. We pop style upon style upon style. So we want to have something which is our own something. So you're just giving people that room to advertise, market, and promote themselves.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you don't kind of take these, like being a musician or being an artist or being a creative, is so much different than what it was years ago. Like now you have to really do everything. Like before, if you was an artist, you wouldn't, you just didn't see all of that. You couldn't go and buy somebody's T-shirt. You couldn't go and buy a hat and a cap with it. It's only in the most, in America you had more access to it, but over here you're finding it more and more now that people have to have their fingers in every pot.
What that was is it was the label. It was the label. So if you have a big label behind you, you're not going to do any of that. They're just going to market off your image. They're going to take your image because they own you, and they're going to milk it and make a toy and make a this and make a T-shirt and a hat and a whatever. But now, whereas the value of music has gone down itself, because once upon a time you could put an album out and you sell 50,000 albums at £10. Now it streams. So the value of music, the monetary value of it has gone down. Like, yeah, we care about it, but that's so our artists can't live off of just putting out a music alone, or our artists can't live off of just touring alone. It's the market, it's the products and all the other things, and as well, it's no longer just about you as an artist. It's about selling lifestyle. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And people love a merchandise nowadays, don't they? They love merch. They love that merch. So, and it's the way how, as you say, the monetary value of music. Whereas we buy, we used to buy vinyls. We going back years. We used to buy vinyls, and then you buy CDs. And you buy albums, CD albums, and things like that. So now people, I don't think people really buy them much, do they, at all?
There's a niche market for people, but it's not the overall. A lot of young people don't even know what an album is. They haven't got the attention span to sit down for an hour and a half and listen to a person's train of thought from one thing to another. If you check adverts and stuff, it's a lot of flash images. When I was young, they used to have these things, and you'd see it, and they'd have a dog, and the dog would have two matchstick there, and they would show it all these flash images, and then the dog would turn mad. That's how adverts are now. When I was a kid, adverts were Nicole, Papa, and it'd be very slow, and that same advert would go on for 6 months to a year. Nicole, Papa, different scenarios, but the same thing. we don't have that attention span to follow up and come back tomorrow to find out where it's going to be, to be continued. Want it now, instant gratification, because everything's on demand. So the way that we then do our business has to kind of match with that, you know, to match the market.
Yeah,
One second, sis. 1 second, sis. Who? Who?
George, you got any comments coming on?
Who?
Before we can
Shanty Ball.
Hold on.
Hi. So, let me tell you who joined. Well-being has left us. She's got to go. She's got calls to make, but a great live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ODXC has joined
Big up my
us.
boy.
Jamming MC also joined.
Hi, Jamming MC. Hey,
Jamming.
how are you? Yeah, Jamming.
I am Marla Webster joined and said hello. No, she didn't say that.
Oh.
She said something else. She said, big lady.
Oh no, she's getting like Luna. She's like, they're attacking us today. Claude, they're attacking us. They're saying we were big. Big lady. Hey, you conquerors.
I was saying that, you know, when you were talking, it's like the Bisto advert that went on for so long.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Webster said, I ordered my officially flexitarian mugs today. Merchandise is everything.
Oh,
Thank you,
Milo. Yeah.
Show them the merch. Show them the merch.
That's just one of them. That's just one of them.
Thank you for your
Cheers.
support.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's all from me over on the red carpet.
Thank you. Okay. So.
Mom's on a mission joined us. Thank you for joining us. Mom's on a mission.
Mum's a word.
Music said enjoy the life. Thank you.
Okay. I don't think you're on a delay anymore, Claude. It seems to be like fine because it's coming up as you're saying it. So yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Well, it took an hour and a half.
No, but it was no. You've not been on delay all this time. I'm saying. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
It's been good. I think Instagram is getting up to date. I think.
Working with us.
Yeah, it's working with us. So yeah. So again, yeah. So you've got food, you've got music, you've got clothes. As you said, you know that's your way of life as well, and it's about how you think about helping others, and you know, as a day-to-day thing anyway.
Food, clothes, and shelter is the basics for survival. Really, it's what we need. The basics every human being needs. You know. So if you can provide that, that's like it's Raggo Zulu Nation. The basis of a nation is family. You provide the family with food, clothes, and shelter, we can grow. You know?
Grow. Yes, indeed. So what's next for you? Is there something you got something else going on in the pipeline?
As next on the 30th, I just dropped a mini movie. It's like a musical. It's like a musical, basically.
Wow.
Because we've done a few documentaries before. We did what documentary did we do? We did one about voting when there was a couple of years back when the vote was on, and to get like, I got my opinions, like I said, but I don't like to force them down people's throat. I mean, we can reason. So what I did was I got a bunch of people around me, people that I respect, but from different backgrounds, and I got them all to say their views on the vote. Yeah. And then from that we did another one on the 420 car. That's something I'm an advocate for the herb. Do you know what I mean? Herb is the Ealing. Yeah, so
if you don't know what 420 is, tell them.
So the thing is, I'm not even the biggest 420 but it's the young people's thing, and you've got to support the young people in what they do and also guide it. So long before there was a 420, the Rastamana fly the flag for the herb. But this is how the youths have interpreted that and took it on as their thing. So we went down there to investigate because it started off with some students somewhere in America, and they started doing I think it was at 420 every day. You're at work or at school, like bigger school, not picnic school. And 5 o'clock's coming, stress and anxiety. You go out for a little smoke break, yeah? And then it started turning into like a campus college thing. And then it just expanded worldwide. And so as it was becoming a normal, because
Canada, it's big in Canada.
There you go.
It's legal out there, isn't it? It's legal out there anyway.
It's legal everywhere. You know what though? It's Peter Tosh that told them to legalize it, yeah? And the irony is, is that now where this thing is all trending, see how the economy's crashing? Babylon's popping down, but they're going to use the herb to prop down economy. Watch, not to get too political on the circumstances, but look how long they harass us, beat us, especially when it comes to the Rasta man in place like, they cut off your hair with broken bottle, man had to hide and lick chalice in a gully. You see, like Jacob Miller, tired, feel it, weed in our gully. Like, they think it's just songs. No, this is our life. This is real. We have to sacrifice for this so that the world can turn around and see these things, you know? So, and a lot of people just take it as some kind of idiot joke clown thing, but this is our culture. Like, when we say herb is the healing, all kinds of things, depression, anxiety. Enough times when I was in school, they used to try and say that, marijuana is a gateway drug. Gates open both ways, yeah? So enough people that have been addicted to hard drugs and things for years have come off because they've got herb to turn around and keep them balanced, yeah? I balance my own self through the herb, my bowels, not to get too much in detail, but it governs enough people's life and brings a lot of peace to a lot of people's life, yeah? And what they'll try to fight you down with is say, cannabis psychosis and all this. More time people get cannabis psychosis when they stop smoke or when they stop use it. And it's also the way that it's promoted that smoking is the only way. It's not just smoking, it's tea. We can use it in our food. We could use it, like I said, just as medicine. You could use it hemp. You see, in the 1800s, they used to use hemp for the sails for their boats, for the rope for their boats. In certain places in America, there was a cannabis tax. If you didn't grow hemp, they're going to tax you because that was a big something. It's only when we start coming to places like England after the Windrush and we brought the herb with us and enough man would turn around and come and bring us something with him, and then he sell that off, make money, and then buy his house. When we start to get economically stable of it, they started to notice, well, hang on a minute, what's this thing that these people are using and start locked down in it? And more time anyone turn around and use the herb, they're not gonna, a man will drink liquor, get mad and beat his wife. A man's gonna burn a spliff and drop asleep. Yeah? So where the herb is a thing that make people think and question things. They don't want you to question things in the society. It's a sheep society. They want you to turn around and lap it up as it's been given to you. Do this, do that. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full. You're under the herb, you're going to say, but why? And that's a dangerous something, you know?
And not that we're telling people to go out there and start running.
No. No.
This each to their own, you know. So, you know, you just 420 is...
It's not just a money thing. Like I said, like, for the 420 is kind of based around that, but that's often people's introduction. Like Puff Daddy was my introduction to hip hop. Weren't an intro, but what got me on it to rap. But there's a lot more behind it. Do you know what I mean? So it's we have a saying, even if you don't smoke it, promote it, because like I said, these people are going to use it to prop up their economy. But how much of us are still sitting in jail right now? They're not trying to free us up under the herb, you know. So you have to just watch out there and look and see what's going on in the world through your own eyes, not just what you've been told. And then there's a plant, same way as
asparagus,
same way as a cucumber, same way as aloe vera. It's a plant, you know.
It is, yeah. Because you're not talking the manufactured stuff.
Not at all. Not at all. Man's on the lamb's bread, you know, the 1966 when the Tree Sevens clashed, the red beard, you know.
So. You were saying what was next for you. You were going to say what was next for you.
So so we just released this mini movie, this musical called Loaf, and Loaf stands for Love Over All Foolishness, and
Over All Foolishness, and the acronym is Loaf.
Yeah. Because anytime you want to get something, use the loaf. It's more likely to happen. You know.
Yeah.
And then it's also about breaking bread.
I love how you mix up like Cockney translation. It's like Cockney loaf, like use your loaf, which is like that's real East End. You know if you you're from East End. Yeah, use your loaf, mate.
I'm from the ends with the hammers, the original hammers, not the Stratford ones. You know, I'm from up them Green Street.
West Ham, Green Street, yeah.
So, but yeah, and so that was the. When
did that drop? When does that drop on the 5th?
No, it came out on the 30th. It came out on the 30th.
30th so, of November.
Yeah, it's a mini movie, and it's also an original soundtrack. So you can go on my YouTube and watch the mini movie, or you can go on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, any of them places there, and you can check out the soundtrack. Produced by Toast for Mashing Music. And he's a Cockney man. He's a Jamaican. I'm proud, but he's a geezer. He's a geezer and the same man. So he's got the two. And these are things just about our identifying ourselves. Because see, like you said, where people see us and feel say, you're going to jump up and say, praise ye Jah. Yeah, we do. But we do it after we start, you know? We keep it natural. We don't put on any suit or fix or itch up to try and be like anybody other than our natural self.
Yeah. Very important, very important. So if you had a message to a person, anybody, because obviously you work with people within your workshops, that is thinking about going into music, thinking about going into do a clothing line, who's thinking about doing something in terms of food, what would you say to them? Just before, you know, like, what would be your message to someone that was thinking about this, or you know, thinking about how they could get into it?
In anything,
as the mentor,
just set your goals and set your parameters from before you start. I was watching one debate thing with, I think it was Dave Chappelle, and it was like Open Art Studio, and he was talking to one old guy, and he was just saying that how when he was a very young comedian before he got into comedy, he was talking to his dad, and he was saying, and his dad was saying, "You sure you want to do this?" And he was saying, "But Dad, if I can earn what you earn," his dad was a teacher, "if I can earn what you earn, doing what I want to do, then I'd be happy." Do you know what I mean? But the problem is oftentimes we don't set our goals and set our perimeters before we get there. So when we get there, they're always able to draw us out a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. When you dance with the devil, you don't predict when the music stops. Yeah. So you don't sell out your thing. If you already know, Rare, this is beyond me. This is too far for me. Yeah. Then no one can't twang you when you get there and say, we just want you to do this. We just want you to do that, you know? And then one day you wake up in the mirror, you change yourself so much, you don't even recognize yourself again. So it's more or less, it's just about being true to yourself though. But it's setting those boundaries on what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do, so that people can't dangle the carrot in front of you and keep you walking till you walk off the edge of a cliff, you know?
Yeah. Sound advice, people. Boundaries and parameters, because it's true for life. Because as a child, if you don't have those, you're just unruly. Sometimes you can be unruly because you need to have some kind of, you know, you need to have something that is saying to you, as you said, you don't want somebody to take advantage of you. So someone you could be taken advantage of if you don't know how far you will go to get something.
It's a moral compass, you know? And everyone's morals are different. Everyone's integrity is different. What is poison to one man is veal and steak to an next, yeah? But it's knowing what is your moral compass, so you don't, because as well, you may follow someone else's rules and miss out what's there for you, you know? When your hands are full, you can't receive. So it's just knowing yourself and kind of figuring out what your moral compass is so you can operate and it can guide you.
Brilliant. Claude, let Raggo Zulu know what's been going on, and let people know, because people are saying they are off and saying good night. Claude, world correspondent, sorry, they like to be addressed by your official title. She may have left the building.
Giovanni has joined us.
Hey, Giovanni Hutton. How are you?
Thank you for joining. Some more people have left us. Break the cycle has left us. Great live. I'm off. Have a good evening. So
Yes. Brilliant. So Raggo Zulu, thank you very much for being here with us and giving people salad. I mean, you've been dropping gems, nuggets all throughout. You know, you've told your story, and I know it's much bigger than that. You've told, you know, what it's like to get where you're going and to be your true, authentic self and feel comfortable in yourself to do what you're doing and do it well. So thank you for sharing with us on Flexi Talk Live. And when is Raggo Zulu back with us for part 3 of the trilogy?
The 18th, I think, isn't it?
It is, isn't it, Phil? She's looking fair sleepy.
I have to get my diary out.
It is.
I want to give the correct date.
I think it's the 18th.
Yes. So on the 18th of December. Yes, it is. We will have an evening with Raggo Zulu Rebel performing. Yes, in part 3 of the trilogy. And we'd like to thank you for today, for your time today. I know you're gonna like. I don't know. You're ready to go to bed now and go sleep.
I've got my dinner.
Oh, you go. Oh,
Eating late.
all right.
Putting the winter weight on. You know.
It's okay. You got a missus, so you're good. You're all right. You're okay. It's all right. No,
she don't really love the Marga man like that, so she's fatting me up. You know.
That's right. So thank you very much for today. Keep doing what you're doing. And people, till next time, please follow, like, share, comment, support Raggo Zulu Rebel. He's doing good things. Support is needed. So, you know, who's out there who does music, who does production, who maybe can spare, you know, some time. I don't know. Contact Raggo Zulu. It might be collabs on the way. So.
And if you're a young artist and you're between 15 and 25, follow us up and give us a shout about the collective. We're trying to recruit for the next cohort. That's the word.
Yeah.
Have to get the vocab out. The thesaurus. Yeah. So give us a shout.
Did you hear that? So 15 to 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
The collective. Great workshop. Great program. 15 weeks.
15 weeks. We have a show. It's going to be great. Have a holler at me. Holler at my business partner Mariana Zappi. Holler at you, Press.
And Zappi as well.
Yeah.
Okay, Claude, what do you say?
I said we'll be available for any videos if anyone needs us as well. We're great
Yes. Yeah, and I play instrument. Claude says she can sing, but questionable. I mean, yes, and she said, no, really, I'm joking. She can. Bye, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Till next time, the 18th. Claude, are you going to quickly jump on so we can let people know what's coming up next?
Thank you, lady.
Bye.
All right, bye, Raggo Zulu Rebel. Thank you very much. Thank you.